The year is 48 AD. The location is Lugdunum. You are standing at the exact geographical intersection of two massive, unstoppable forces of nature. To your left is the Rhône, a rushing, violent, fiercely powerful river born from the frozen glaciers of the Alps. To your right is the Saône, a calm, deep, methodical waterway winding its way down from the dense, ancient forests of the north. Where these two distinct waters crash together, humanity has anchored the most critical, hyper-productive metropolis in Western Europe. This is the capital of the Three Gauls. It is the absolute administrative, economic, and religious heart of the Celtic world, entirely retrofitted with the staggering, heavy concrete engineering of the Roman Empire. Using advanced AI trained on the deeply buried hydraulic networks of the Fourvière Hill, the meticulously preserved bronze inscriptions of the imperial archives, and the massive, unearthed river warehouses along the banks, we have completely resurrected this magnificent provincial capital. We are going to explore the roaring epicenter of the imperial economy, witness the flawless execution of ancient physics, and stand in the room during a masterclass of geopolitical diplomacy that will permanently rewrite the laws of the Roman world. This is 24 hours at the crossroads of an empire. The morning begins at 5 a.m. A thick, silver mist hangs heavy over the river basin, masking the lower city. You wake up in a sprawling, multi-tiered stone villa built into the steep, terraced slopes of the Fourvière Hill. The air is crisp, carrying the scent of damp pine needles and the faint, sweet aroma of wood smoke from the valley below. You are a decurion, a highly influential member of the local city council. Your heritage is a fascinating, seamless blend. Your grandfather was a fierce Celtic chieftain of the Segusiavi tribe, but you were born a full Roman citizen. You dress in a magnificent fusion of these two worlds. You wear a finely woven, brightly dyed woolen tunic, the undisputed specialty of the Gallic weavers, but it is draped with the formal, heavy white folds of a Roman toga, fastened at the shoulder with an intricately enameled bronze brooch. You step out onto your marble terrace, looking down through the breaking fog. The city below is an absolute marvel of urban adaptation. Lugdunum is not flat. It is carved into steep cliffs and wedged between rushing waters. By 7 a.m., you descend the steep paved stairways of the hill and enter the industrial heart of the empire. You are walking toward the imperial mint. Lugdunum holds a staggeringly rare, almost unparalleled privilege. It is the only city in the entire Western Empire outside of Rome itself that is legally permitted to strike imperial gold and silver coins. You walk past heavily armed detachments of the cohortes urbanae, the elite urban guard, and step into the massive, echoing stone halls of the mint. The noise is a deafening, constant, mechanical rhythm. Hundreds of highly skilled metallurgists and slaves are operating rows of heavy iron anvils. You watch as a blank, perfectly weighed disc of pure gold, a flan, is placed between two intricately carved iron dies. A massive hammer strikes the top die with a deafening crack. The worker pulls the gold away with bronze tongs. It is a brand new aureus. You inspect the coin as it cools. Stamped perfectly into the gleaming yellow metal is the profile of Emperor Claudius. The sheer volume of wealth moving through this single building is funding the entire network of Roman legions stationed hundreds of miles away on the freezing banks of the Rhine. Lugdunum is the financial engine that keeps the northern frontiers secure. By 10 a.m., you leave the heat of the mint and cross the river to the bustling commercial district. The docks of Lugdunum stretch for miles along the waterfront. This city is the central hub of the Via Agrippa, the massive, continent-spanning network of Roman highways that radiate outward like the spokes of a wheel. But the real heavy lifting is done on the water. You meet with the Nautes Rhodanici, the incredibly wealthy, deeply organized guild of the Rhône River boatmen. You are negotiating the logistics of a massive incoming shipment. The docks are piled high with towering stacks of red clay terra sigillata pottery produced in the massive kilns of southern Gaul. Next to them are heavy, lead-sealed wooden barrels filled with raw tin imported all the way from the foggy, distant shores of Britannia. You broker a deal with a Greek merchant from Massalia, trading thousands of gallons of premium olive oil for local Gallic timber. The sheer efficiency, the speed of the mathematics, and the peaceful, unbroken flow of global goods is the true, undeniable power of the Pax Romana. By 1 p.m., the atmosphere of the city reaches a fever pitch. Today is August 1st. It is the most important date on the calendar. You cross the Saône River into the district of Condate, heading toward the monumental sanctuary of the Three Gauls. This is not a traditional Roman temple. It is a vast, open-air terrace dedicated to the goddess Roma and the divine spirit of Augustus. Gathered here in this immense plaza are the aristocratic representatives of all 60 recognized Celtic tribes of Gaul. They have traveled from the coasts of the Atlantic, from the deep forests of the Ardennes, and from the foothills of the Pyrenees. You look at the centerpiece of the sanctuary. It is a colossal, towering stone altar flanked by two massive columns made of imported Egyptian granite. Resting on top of these columns are enormous, gilded bronze statues of the goddess of victory. Surrounding the altar are 60 magnificent bronze statues, each one representing a different Gallic tribe, united together in absolute, peaceful harmony. The high priest of the Gauls, a nobleman dressed in a stunning crown of woven gold oak leaves, steps forward. The rituals are elegant and precise. He pours pure, unmixed wine from a silver patera onto the altar, followed by the burning of incredibly expensive, imported incense. The sweet, heavy smoke rises into the clear blue sky. It is a brilliant psychological masterpiece of Roman administration. They have taken the fierce, independent, tribal pride of the Celtic world and channeled it directly into a unified, shared celebration of imperial loyalty. By 3 p.m., you are summoned to the absolute political climax of the year. Emperor Claudius himself is visiting Lugdunum. He is profoundly connected to this city. He was literally born here decades ago, while his father was stationed in Gaul. You enter the Grand Curia, the local Senate house, taking your seat among the absolute highest-ranking Gallic aristocrats and Roman magistrates. The emperor enters the hall. Claudius is a man deeply underestimated by his rivals in Rome. He walks with a pronounced limp, and his head trembles slightly. But the moment he begins to speak, the brilliance of his mind commands the entire room. You are sitting in the audience for one of the most progressive, historically significant political speeches of antiquity. Claudius is not here to demand taxes. He is here to argue for the rights of the Gauls. The tribal leaders sitting around you possess immense wealth and deep Roman loyalty, but they are legally barred from holding office in the actual Roman Senate back in Italy. Claudius speaks passionately, his voice echoing off the marble walls. The exact words of this brilliant speech will be immortalized, carved into a massive bronze plaque known as the Lyon tablet, ensuring history never forgets this moment. He argues that the rigid, exclusionary politics of ancient Athens and Sparta caused their downfall because they treated conquered people as permanent aliens. He declares that Rome's greatest strength is its ability to absorb, to integrate, and to share power. He formally proposes that the Gallic elites in this very room should be granted full, unhindered access to the Roman Senate. You watch the faces of the Celtic chieftains around you. Men whose grandfathers fought fierce, bitter wars against Julius Caesar are now being invited to govern the very empire that defeated them. It is a breathtaking, peaceful revolution accomplished entirely through the power of legislation and profound philosophical vision. The integration of Europe is happening right before your eyes. By 6 p.m., the heavy political negotiations conclude and the city transitions into grand, spectacular celebration. You walk back toward the slopes of the Fourvière Hill and enter the amphitheatre of the Three Gauls. This massive stone venue is not being used for combat today. In Lugdunum, the true spectacle is the mind. The city is fiercely proud of its intellectual culture. You sit on the curved limestone benches, joining thousands of citizens to watch the grand oratory and poetry competitions. master rhetoricians, poets, and historians from all over the empire have traveled here to compete. They stand in the center of the arena, delivering sweeping, dramatic recitations of Greek epics and newly composed Latin verse. The acoustics of the amphitheater are flawless, projecting every single syllable up to the highest rows. The crowd is highly educated and incredibly critical, cheering loudly for brilliant metaphors and groaning at poor syntax. You are sitting in a city that values the sharpness of a spoken argument just as highly as the sharpness of an iron sword. By 9 p.m., the sun vanishes behind the western hills, and the sky turns a deep, velvet indigo. You return to your high terrace on the Fourvière Hill for a lavish evening banquet. The dining room overlooks the entire illuminated river valley. You recline on cushioned wooden couches, sharing the evening with visiting merchants and local magistrates. The wealth of the local geography is proudly displayed on your silver platters. You are served delicate river pike caught from the Saône, roasted quail from the northern forests, and incredibly rich, locally produced cheeses. You are drinking a fantastic, robust red wine. Lugdunum is sitting at the very foundation of what will eventually become the legendary French wine industry. The Romans have realized that the slopes of this valley are perfect for viticulture, slowly replacing the imported Italian amphorae with their own brilliant, locally cultivated vineyards. As you sip your wine, the conversation turns to the sheer, mind-bending engineering that makes life on this high hill possible. Your villa receives a constant pressurized stream of fresh, cold water, but the Fourvière Hill is incredibly high and the surrounding valleys are incredibly deep. Standard Roman aqueducts rely on a gentle, continuous downward slope. To get water across the deep, plunging valleys outside the city, the engineers of Lugdunum had to implement something that borders on the impossible, the inverted siphon. You discuss the genius of it. The water flows down the side of the valley into a massive header tank, then plunges down through a series of thick, perfectly sealed lead pipes, travels across the valley floor on a low bridge, and uses the immense trapped kinetic pressure to force the water back up the opposite hill to a receiving tank. It is a masterclass in applied physics and hydrodynamics, executing principles that will not be fully understood by the rest of the world for another 1,000 years. You are living in a society that has entirely conquered gravity and terrain. By midnight, the banquet concludes. You walk to the edge of your marble terrace. The great city of Lugdunum is silent. The only lights are the glowing embers of the public baths and the flickering oil lanterns marking the docks. You can hear the distant, continuous, soothing sound of the two great rivers merging into one at the southern tip of the peninsula. You are standing in the exact center of a monumental shift in human civilization. You have witnessed the gold that funds the legions, the intricate physics that defies the mountains, and the profound political inclusion that binds continents together. The Romans did not just build a fort here, they built an engine of cultural synthesis. The empire will eventually face its twilight, the legions will retreat, and the marble statues will be lost to the shifting earth. But the blueprint of integration, the roads radiating from this exact spot, and the concept of a unified, diverse Europe were permanently anchored in the bedrock of this river valley. Rivers are the great authors of the earth, carving through solid stone over millennia. But the people who build their lives upon those rushing waters are the ones who write the true course of history. This video is brought to you by the Paladin Learn History app. Scan the QR code to learn more history.